Hey guys, it's Teaksy here and welcome back to the channel. In today's video guys, we're going to be ranking all of the 6v6 Black Ops Cold War multiplayer maps, excluding the remasters, from worst to best for a second time. So basically guys, my opinion has changed slightly on some of the maps from year 1 to year 2. But also looking back, I feel like I've come a long way as a content creator, and I just wanted to do an up-to-date video that was better quality and something I can always look back on. So that is why we're here doing it again today. So kicking us off at number 17, and the worst map in Black Ops Cold War in my opinion, is Collateral Strike. Now Collateral Strike drops from one place to last year. It was 16th last year down to 17th. And I feel like it's just one of their maps. I always say that game modes can really swing somebody's opinion on a map, and I feel like Collateral Strike feels like it really suits Search and Destroy. A lot of content creators that I watch to play Search seems like this is a really good map, but for me, I've just never really had that enjoyment in Respawn. It's not a map that I've played very often, and for me, Collateral Strike drops down to 17 as the worst map in Black Ops Cold War. Coming in at 16 is Armada Strike. Again, this is another map that I really just didn't get on with in Respawn. I feel like there's just too many windows for players to sit in. I feel like players can camp up a lot on this map. It really doesn't suit you if you're like an SMG player wanting to move around, which I am. Again, looks like it can be a lot of fun in Search and Destroy, but for me, it's down 2 from last year to 16. And yeah, for me, just not a map that I've really had any fun with. Coming in at 15 guys, and up 2 places from last year, is Cartel. I think the Cartel definitely plays better in a 12v12 game mode. For me, at 6v6, it still feels a little bit too big. Obviously, it's got a lot of potential for fun with the aerial score streaks. If you can get aerial score streaks, there's not an awful lot of places where the enemy team can kind of take cover. So for me, it definitely moves up from last year, but honestly, Cartel's still not a brilliant map. It's just not the worst map in my opinion. Coming in at number 14, guys, and down 2 from last year, is Miami. Now, I still stand very much by the fact, guys, that I do not believe this is the worst map in the game. I genuinely feel like there's a lot of fun to be had on Miami, especially if you're sniping. But I must admit that it probably was a little bit too high on my list last year, and that is why it drops 2 places this year to 14. Coming in at number 13, guys, is DEPROGRAM. It stays in the same place as last year, doesn't move up or down. I generally don't hate this map. I really don't hate this map, and I still feel like it was a really cool concept for a map, but ultimately I just don't feel like you have many options on this map. I think with the teleporters taking you out to that sort of side bit that kind of covers a lot of the mid-map, you get quite a good vantage point from up there. Just feels like you either play cave side of the map or you sit on the side of the map where the teleporters take you to. So for me, not a horrible map, not a great map, just one of those that's just kind of there, and that's why it comes in at 13. So coming in at number 12, guys, and up 3 places from last year, is AMERIKA. So I feel like this map's got a lot of good potential with spawns. I feel like, in Domination you can get quite a lot of spawn killing going. I feel like it's a map that really could have played well in Demolition. It just feels at time, though, for me, like this map, like I say, it had the potential, but it can be very difficult to move. Mid-map is usually covered by people sniping either side, and then the 2 sort of side lanes that you can take are quite narrow, and again, very easy just to get picked up on. And I just think it's one of their maps where just something about it was a nice size, but the layout just didn't quite work out. Coming in at number 11, guys, is CHECKMATE. Down from 1 place last year, drops out of the top 10. I still think that competitive definitely helped with my feelings on this map. I felt like it could be some good fun for hard point control and Search and Destroy, but just generally it just was one of them maps that when you got it in pubs, for me it just didn't play that well, especially in a 6v6. Sometimes it felt too big, and sometimes it just felt like you really couldn't move or get anything going, and you couldn't really do much variable score streaks, and that's why this year it drops out of the top 10. Coming in at number 10, guys, again another one that's down 1 from last year, is Satellite. Now I feel like Satellite, again, very close with CHECKMATE. I think the aerial score streaks definitely helped buff this map a little bit, because if you could get like a gunship or a chopper gun or a VTOL on this map, honestly, there was nowhere for the enemy team to hide, and you could really streak up and have a lot of fun sort of destroying the other team. But generally speaking, it's not really a traditional Call of Duty map layout. I don't think it really played that amazingly, and for me, Satellite still in the top 10, but only just. Coming in at number 9, guys, another map that drops down 1 from last year, is Miami Strike. Again, I think it's a really nice and small map. Obviously a much better version than the original Miami in my opinion, but at the same time it just didn't really feel like it was anything special. It was smaller and it was a better version of the original Miami, but outside of that I don't think it was a brilliant map really, and for me it just sticks in at number 9 in the middle there. Again, one that you don't hate, but it's not really one that you're going to be shouting about either. Coming in at number 8, guys, down 2 from last year, is Garrison. I feel like I've slowly over time just sort of fell out of love with this map. It was definitely one of my more favourite maps when the game first released, but I think over time it feels like it's one of the more least enjoyable demolition maps, and obviously demolition is the game mode I play 99% of the time now. It still had its moments. I still think competitive again helped this map a little bit, and I think it probably played a little bit there in certain other modes, but for me, Garrison in at number 8, down 2 from last year. Coming in at number 7, guys, is Diesel. That again stays in the same position as last year. I still have the same opinion on this map. I feel like there's a lot of head glitches. There's a lot of power spots that people can get into, but it is for me still one of the more enjoyable maps in the game, and definitely a map I think I would like to have seen in demolition. It feels like it could have had some really good spawns, and I think as well, with there not being an awful lot of cover where the spawns probably would have been, this map could definitely have been good for aerial score streets. But for me, Diesel doesn't move up, doesn't move down, stays in at number 7. Now, coming in at number 6, guys, is the Pines. Now, the Pines is a big mover. It's up 5 from last year, and it is single-handedly the one map on this list that has changed the most from last year. I was definitely harsh on this map in year 1. It definitely, I say it plays really, really well in demolition, but generally it's just a map that really suits my playstyle. I mean, I like to stay to the edges of maps. I like to go on flanks, stay off the radar and get behind enemy players. And I feel like on the Pines, you've got options. You can sneak around quite a bit. You can definitely find routes to stay out of trouble and get yourself into really good positions. So for me, the Pines definitely deserves its jump up 5 places from last year into the top 10 and narrowly missing out on a top 5 spot. Coming in at number 5, guys, is Moscow, down 2 from last year. I still believe this is one of the better maps in the game, but I think the fact that it's probably the worst demolition map in the game has definitely made me kind of drop it down a little bit. I think this was a brilliant competitive map. I think that's probably what helped Moscow the most, was how well it played in competitive for hardpoint and search and destroy. But for me, down 2 places from last year, out of the top 3, but as I say, still one of the better maps and keeps its space in the top 5. Coming in at number 4, guys, is ECHELON. ECHELON is a non-mover from last year. I just genuinely really enjoy this map, guys. Unfortunately, it stays where it is due to the maps around it. I think there's just some really, really good maps above it, but there was no way this map was ever moving down. It's definitely one of the best maps in the game for me. I sometimes struggle to put my sort of reasons on why I like this map so much. I just feel like it plays really well, and I have a lot of fun with it, so ECHELON stays in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, guys, and up 2 places from last year, is CROSSROADS Strike. Not really too much to say about this map. I was probably a little bit harsh on it last year. Obviously, it's a very small map. It's always played really well. Definitely works for SMGs. You can move around really quickly, get yourself into a lot of good gunfights. Get really high kill gameplays on this map. And I feel like I've got a good history on this map of having good games. And I have to admit, looking back, a little bit surprised that I only gave it 5th last year. So CROSSROADS Strikes moves up into 3rd. Coming in at number 2, guys, and narrowly missing out on the number 1 spot, is VAMANTAU. So VAMANTAU stays where it was last year, but honestly, it's so much closer to Apocalypse. I'm pretty sure in last year's video, I was shouting and raving about Apocalypse and saying how it was the clear best map in Black Ops Cold War out of the kind of Cold War maps. But for me, VAMANTAU is considerably closer this year. I honestly really love VAMANTAU. It could have easily been number 1. It just misses out. Like I say, I still absolutely love Apocalypse, but for VAMANTAU, I really enjoy playing this map. I think it's got some brilliant spawns. You can have some really, really good games on this map, and yeah, generally VAMANTAU, definitely one of the best maps in the game. And I think, like I said with Apocalypse last year, if VAMANTAU gets brought back in a future Call of Duty, I definitely won't be complaining. And coming in at number 1, guys, and keeping its spot as the best map in the game for me, is Apocalypse. I just seem to love this map. This is just one of the maps that it doesn't matter the game mode. It can be demolition, it can be hardpoint, it can be domination. I just get things going on this map for whatever reason. It really suits my playstyle. Moving around with an SMG at high speed, getting on flanks, taking sneaky routes, just being able to jump in and out of buildings and stuff. I just absolutely love Apocalypse. And yeah, it definitely keeps that number 1 spot. But like I say, VAMANTAU an awful lot closer. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do, guys, please do hit the like button down below. If you are brand new around here and want to find your way back for more, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, guys, I hope everyone has a great day. And I'll catch you all in the next one.